was reading Three More Words by Ashley Rhodes Corder, and I give this book a 9, and pretty much the basis of it is she's a foster child and she goes through multiple homes, and she ends up getting adopted, and the 3 words are "I guess so," because that's what she said on her adoption day. And her and her friend go through all these concerts, and she meets this guy, and it was hard for her to fall in love with him, but she ends up falling in love at the end, and they get married, and then she becomes a foster parent. So that's what pretty much is the whole story.
All right. So the first question, describe the character or person who changed the most from the beginning of the book to the end of the book. Explain the change and what caused it.
I would say Ashley would be the one to have changed the most, because she goes from not being able to love anyone and trust anyone, and because of all the homes that she's been through. She was going through a really hard home where her and her brother got abused all the time. So she was really sparse on trying to trust people and who they really are. And eventually when she does get adopted, she opens up to them. They let her go to college, and she meets this guy where she doesn't know if she can love him and whatnot. So she goes through this relationship and leading him on the whole time, and was like, no, and all he does is care for her. And then in the end, she realizes that that she does love him, and that she can trust people, and that it takes a lot to put her feelings into them, and so they become foster parents. And throughout that process, she immensely falls in love with every kid that she comes close with, because she wants to try and make it so that they don't have to go through the experiences that she does, because she knows what it's like to not feel love, to go through pain every day, and to see her little brother go through it. And it's just heart-wrenching for her to see these little babies come in with raw butts, pretty much, from not having the right diapers, from eating their own poop, to not having any clothes and just being abandoned by their parents. So she falls in love with them, and then she has to detach from them. So it's different from her not being able to love to end up loving.
Question 3. Describe a minor character / person in the book who had major importance. Explain.
Eric would be a minor character who put a lot onto her life, because he taught her that even when it isn't beautiful, that there still is another day to go on to. Because she started to gain weight throughout the process because she had all that pain and anger. So she just started eating and eating, and then she gained a lot of weight, and she wasn't happy with herself. But all through that process, he still loved her, and she even says in her book over and over again that, wow, he really does love me even when I have all this weight on me, and he still cares for her. And when she went in to get surgery for her knee, he was right by her side the whole time, even when she was pushing him away in the beginning and was like, get away from me, pretty much. And she just didn't care for him and didn't care what he did, and kept saying oh, we have an open relationship, and all he wanted was her in the long run, and all she did was pretty much stomp on him. But he was there the whole time and cared for her and made her a better person, and was a big role model to not her but to the kids that they took in.
Question number 6. Evaluate the ending of this book. Considering how the book unfolded, is it an effective ending? Why or why not?
It sort of is, but it's sort of not, because they talk about the foster kids that they do have in the house, and that she wanted to be the one to make the girl not go through what she did, and to hopefully have someone adopt her, but they not end up adopting her, and they pretty much feel worse about it in the end, because something really bad happens to the girl, and they feel awful that they pretty much are not the ones. And then the book ends with them getting more foster children. So it was kind of like that was a little drag on, but yet again it was kind of sweet in the end.